Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Error Season 1, Episode 11, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at / We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We Are Error.
Hey everybody, welcome to the We Are Error Podcast. This is Duck. I am here with
Jake
and Javi, and we are going to talk about something great today. What is the We Are Error Podcast? We talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. So thank you again for joining and listening. Hope you enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.
Yo,
Thank you.
we're going to get to Spider-Man here in a bit, and we are having a little bit of trouble not talking about it right now. And here's the thing, we go see a movie in the theater, the rule is afterwards, we're not allowed to talk about it. We did this with Venom, and the whole ride home, it was just like...
Yeah, we were just like on the cusp of just wanting to talk about it.
Gluttons for punishment.
But you can't. So the whole ride home, we're just sitting there like... And that,
You guys like stuff?
So, I had to distract myself by making a move on Duck.
Yeah. And it was smooth, ladies.
And
It was
distracting.
smooth. Yes, also, we also found out that Jake turns lesbians into straight women, and Javi turns straight women into lesbians.
That's right, ladies. I'm that bad at it.
Yeah. Or that good.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, maybe you're so good. They're like, I can never have a man again.
I'm gonna keep living that delusion.
That or like your moves are so smooth. They're like, I'm gonna copy that and get me a bitch. All right, y'all. So just to make
You do the scissor thing?
we're gonna make the anticipation even better by talking about some movie news.
Movie news!
Got the movie news!
Hey, guess what, guys? Netflix isn't actually killing movie theaters, as a recent study finds.
Okay.
God damn, I
So-
feel like they fucking killed the shit out of the one that we were just in.
Oh shit!
So-
I feel like I was going to see Hank Williams scene at the Grand Ole Opry in that fucking theater.
Hee-haw.
It wasn't even soundproof either.
Oh my god, yeah, that was bad. Let's get into the movie news.
So, a new study indicates that streaming services such as Netflix and anything else that you might call Netflix that isn't Netflix, it's like when you play Nintendo, but it's really a Sega. You're like, that grandma's like, you guys gonna go play Nintendo? It's a Genesis grandma.
It's all Nintendo to me.
But anything that is not killing movie theaters. So, Netflix has been around since 1997. Did you guys realize that?
That's about right. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and since it went to streaming, it's made a lot of critically acclaimed TV series. Not really so much with the movies, but recently, what was it?
Ballad of
Oh
Buster
yeah!
Scruggs.
By the way, if you haven't checked that out yet, you need to start watching.
Or
it.
Happy.
It's amazing.
Or binge watch.
Happy is a sci-fi show that was taken to Netflix. It's not a Netflix original. Though.
Are you sure?
I'm
Yes.
100% positive.
That's
on
what I
that.
said.
But basically, right now we're seeing the Cloverfield Paradox, which was a terrible fucking movie. But the fact that they got that on such short notice to put that out, God bless you, and bless you again. And then recently with the Mowgli movie, which once again I think is really good. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I started watching it, and honestly, I got tired of it. I didn't like the characters as much as the Disney version of the Jungle Book.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I enjoyed it.
I thought Baloo looked fucking stupid as fuck. And
he had that Andy Serkis lip going on. That's how I knew it was Andy Serkis.
He's got mange. I got bloody mange and
So
Baloo.
Yeah.
Baloo was essentially Russell Crowe from South Park. Fart around the world.
He literally was just, you knew it was Andy Serkis because he does that lip a lot. And stuff like
He
that.
did that shit with Gollum all the time.
It's got that real heavy cockney accent.
What they find, though, is that the Netflix, Hulu, and all the streaming services are not keeping people away. It's not killing the movie theater. What is killing is cable TV.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the prices of popcorn and drinks.
No, that's
I thought that
probably
was
true.
what's killing
Oh,
movie
yeah,
theaters.
speaking of which, how much was that soda?
Fuck.
Like,
$5 a piece.
yeah, dude, that was nuts. Like I was like, "Can I get a sweet tea and a 7-Up or Sprite?" And the kid's like, "It's gonna be $11.50." And I was like, "Oh shit, you are
Jesus.
gay."
yeah, what? That's gay.
I was like,
It's like, sorry, that's just our prices. No, not the prices.
"No, you." But anyhow, so it's not killing the movie theater. It is. I mean, we have the best, biggest box offices ever now. You know what I mean? But it is killing cable TV, which it needs to fucking die anyhow.
Seriously.
Having this,
Fuck commercials.
having everything at your, Well, that's the thing.
Ads.
With the Hulu, I pay for the one without commercials.
Yeah.
I can't stand
it's
the one
worth
with
Exactly.
It's worth it.
And YouTube, I'll put up with commercials for now.
Right.
Until I want to drop that extra $10, but I probably won't. But I always think it's
YouTube
worth it.
is the one exception, I think. But
Yeah, because-
everything else, it's like, man, I'm not going to watch a movie on Hulu that has ads peppered in every hour or whatever.
I think I
Doesn't
feel
matter.
better with YouTube because I go, oh, if I watch this, they get some money.
Right.
Whoever made this
exactly.
gets some money.
And I like what culture.
Yeah.
So I want them to, get some
Dude, that
cheddar
Fact
cheese.
Fiend that I got into, Fact Fiend is amazing. No, I didn't even know it existed. I think I sent it to you guys the
Yeah.
other day. This fucking British guy just talking for like 17 minutes straight and it sounds like us.
Nice.
Oh, I love his shit. It's so good. We're going to skip that story because it seems lame. So I kind of want to talk about nostalgia aspects in a lot of these stories. That's why I pulled out. Did you know they're bringing back the Dark Crystal to Netflix?
I did, and I'm
Yeah.
so fucking excited for it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, dude. So they released the first images today of the characters. The
Oh,
elf
and Last
ones.
Airbender got picked up by Netflix for a fucking live action series.
Fucking nerd. Put your inhaler away,
So
faggot.
excited.
How do you feel about that? Seriously.
Jesus Christ.
He does have an inhaler.
I wasn't playing.
He did get it. Did he pull it out?
I did pull it up.
You're like, I'm so excited.
I am a dirty faggot. I got my hand.
All right, here's the pictures of the Gelflings, though. I just want to, and if you don't like the Dark Crystal, you're insane. Jim Henson produced,
Right, I was going to
Frank
say, is
Oz.
it still Henson production?
Yes, it is a Henson production. They're putting it together now. What was crazy about 5 or 6 years
It's
ago,
like these puppets haven't aged a day.
dude. Well, those are the newer puppets. Check it out, Jake, just real quick, because I want to talk about the second one on that paper because it's ridiculous. Is that not just Daenerys Targaryen as a Gelfling?
That is pretty much
That's all that is,
what
right?
That is.
That's 100% just Daenerys.
Oh, and they got Legolas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
like Legolas with a tan. Look how I just got back from the Caribbean.
So those are the 3 new characters: Ryan, Bree, and Deet, and then they're going to be voiced by Helena Bonham Carter, Mark Hamill, and Simon Pegg.
Oh,
So
okay.
they've got some
Yeah,
big
that's some
name voice talent.
Heavy hitters.
And then the original
Is
Dark
this directed
Crystal.
by Tim Burton, by the way?
No, I don't know. The guy who was going to be directing it was the guy who made Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack. Now, this was 13 years ago he was going to be making it.
McCracken?
That fell through. And they actually went into production. They had pictures of it. And then this was about 5 or 6 years ago. They announced that they were going to start making new Dark Crystal stories. And they actually put out for anyone to enter their ideas for this stuff. And then about 3 years ago, Netflix picked up the idea. So it's been in production for a while now. Which
When are they looking to release it?
I don't know. Let me see.
Probably next summer.
Nope, not there. Not sure. Damn. But I do know one thing. The studio that brought us the Nolan Batman trilogy, they're going to be bringing us the next big thing soon. Has anyone heard of this? A remake of The Toxic Avenger.
What?
Yeah, dude. Now, I know you love The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
You are a fan. Javi, have you ever seen The Toxic Avenger?
Yeah, I did. My first introduction to Toxic was for the cartoon, Toxic Crusaders.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I was a kid, I saw that it was live action. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome! I can't wait to watch it. And I was like, this is different.
My first
This is
thing
very
was
different.
I got a toy, an action figure.
Right, from The Toxic
Toxic.
Crusaders?
Yeah. And then I started watching the movies after that. I was still probably about 9, 10, whenever I found out.
And that's probably about the right age. I think
Right.
the first time I watched that I was 22 or 23. And I was like, this is awesome. And the second movie I liked even better because it's terrible, but it's just made up of all the deleted scenes from the first movie.
I like the
That's
third
what it
one
is.
also, where they're at the school at the beginning. Or
I never saw the
whatever.
third one or the fourth one. I know Ron Jeremy's in the fourth one, I
They're
think.
they're all bad. But
Oh, I
they're
know,
great.
dude, but they're amazing.
Yeah.
I think the
Show
first
'em.
one... The first one's a legitimately... I think it's a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
It was fun, and it kind of... For me, it works, but I would be interested to see how you can... Number one, how did he take that and make that into a cartoon? And it worked, because I remember watching it on TBS.
Dude,
I also
Saturday
wanna
morning
know-
cartoons were fucking weird.
And I also want to know how Bozo translated from a lovable goofball buffoon on the Toxic Crusaders to a fucking sadistic, racist serial killer in the movie. Like, it's weird. That
Yeah, but the
translation.
movie came first.
I know, but I'm just... Why take that guy...
They whitewashed them for the cartoon.
Yeah.
when I watch the cartoon?
I
I
mean,
can't have some fun-loving serial murdering clown on some child's cartoon in the mornings. We'll just make him like the bozo that's on WGN in the mornings.
dude, my favorite
You
part
know,
of that movie...
bozo.
when they have the sex noises and it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
that's so awesome. Leave that poor blind girl alone.
Whoa.
I just want to talk about this. The original X-Men trilogy, which one was the best movie? Which one was the worst?
X2.
And then which one was the worst?
Last Stand.
Yeah. So, Super Hottie McHotpants, who used to play Jean Grey, what's her name? Yeah, Super Hottie. She has said recently, she goes, I hope that the new Dark Phoenix does better for the Dark Phoenix because what we did was terrible.
Hey, good for her. That, you know what that tells me? She has a good publicist who read the comic.
This is true. I still think that at the end of the faculty when she gets her head cut off and it fucking tentacles over. Dude, she's so hot. I would have fucked that head in the tentacles. And Lord.
Yeah.
Remember the faculty? Now that's a fucking good movie.
That actually was a good
Robert
movie.
Rodriguez, man.
That is a
Really?
legit movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was written by the guy who wrote Scream, Kevin Williamson, I think it was.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just
Josh
good
Hart
casting, though. Robert Patrick has the sadistic coach. You know,
Oh, yeah,
that's like
dude.
just so
And he's
fucking
got
fitting.
Usher.
Yeah.
The whole movie, I think the whole movie from beginning to end works. I think that is a movie that you can watch and it's fun, but the first time you watch it, it'll blow your mind.
Oh, definitely.
And I hope yeah, dude. And like, and
With the paper cutter.
And for him, it is one of like Robert. It doesn't feel like a Robert Rodriguez.
No, this is like a very mainstream. Like he's working for the studio.
Right.
But this is before. I think he did. I think he might have done Desperado before this.
Yeah, I think.
El Mariachi obviously was his 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a studio version of Desperado, and they kind of shoehorned him into making more studio style films. I think Faculty was one of them, and then we got into the Robert Rodriguez chaos, like From Dusk Till Dawn and everything else.
But I still stick to Once Upon a Time in Mexico is a terrible fucking movie.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I can't stand it.
It was shot in like 14 days, and it shows.
Yeah, dude, it is not good. Like
Yeah.
that was it.
I gotta go
It
back
felt
and
like
rewatch it
that.
again.
Felt like that was his student film.
Right.
So y'all heard about the Avengers Endgame, correct?
Yes.
Well,
Did you know that the website for it was hacked to send people to Once Upon a Deadpool website instead?
so that was real. Did they really
Yes,
look at like the domain
legit-
lapse and Deadpool bought it?
No, what legitimately happened was a hacker, he got into their code, put a redirect to Fox's Once Upon a Deadpool. And Ryan Reynolds thought this was great, and he's like, I love this guy. So he sent him a bunch of free liquor from his liquor place.
Oh, wow.
But it just cracks me up.
Yeah, that's like the best kind of trolling.
Now, how is that not... But how's that not illegal? How's he not getting in trouble? That's the thing I like.
Because Deadpool said it was fine.
And everyone in the Marvel Universe is terrified of Deadpool.
Oh, that Deadpool.
That's freaking... It makes me so happy. And I
Who
was
else
like,
but Deadpool?
and I mean, honestly, we're probably going to be seeing Deadpool here soon.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope not.
No, you don't want him in the Marvel Universe?
I got to see how he's going to be like watered down to PG-13.
I think it'll be fine. You don't think?
I don't
You
think.
it's- Dude, the first Police Academy was rated R.
It'll
The
be-
8th one was G.
It'll be fine, but do you remember the 8th Police Academy versus the 1st Police Academy?
No, I don't
Okay,
know.
then.
I'm just
I rest
saying.
my case.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think that there's something that can be done there.
Yeah, of course, but once we're already accustomed to the Deadpool that we already have, and
Okay, how do you think Cap is going to like react when like fucking Deadpool calls him a fucking faggoty cocknock or something like that in an Avengers movie?
see? That's what I'm saying.
He's like, whoa, no one's ever talked to him like that before.
All right, you're right. They probably shouldn't water it down. I don't know. I'm excited.
I mean, if anything, it just opens the door for a lot of those language jokes that Cap loves to do.
Yeah.
Jeez,
He's
Javi.
exactly right. Right.
Every 5 minutes, language.
Yeah.
Language.
Yeah.
Language.
Language, Deadpool. Wade, watch your mouth.
All right. Studio Ghibli's.
Ghibli.
Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear that? Ooh.
It's Ghibli.
Speaking of what... All right, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. Speaking of which, did you see how Javi had an orgasm in the movie theater when the How to Train Your Dragon
Jesus
75...
Christ.
He literally went...
Little
Little kids, he was holding popcorn and it started re-popping. It was fucked up,
It's
dude.
all shooting out.
He's dumping it. He's grabbing other people's food and throwing it. Oh, geez. No, but seriously, and me and Jake, he didn't say it out loud, but I heard him. He's just like, oh, so the one's black and the other one's white and a girl, huh? That's original, isn't it? That's what you were fucking thinking, wasn't it? Because me and him both at the same time was just like, whatever. this fucking movie, and Javi's over there going, "Oh Jesus,
American dragon, fuck me!
oh God, he's got a girlfriend." What did you think of it, though?
I really like that.
First of all, you don't even know it's the third or fourth movie.
It's the third, Duck. Let's check tape.
Jake, you got this?
Yeah.
Why I ripped into Javi a little bit more?
Yeah.
So what was it about this that... Because you went through the range of emotions. You went from, and by the end you were just like, What was it about how... I get it. I went to theaters to see the first How to Train Your Dragon.
Did you see the second one?
No.
Well, then that...
And I haven't watched the cartoon series. I haven't played the video
Don't
games.
worry
I don't
about...
give a
Fuck the video game, fuck the cartoon series. They're not that great. The second one you gotta see. And that's why I was like, oh...
I'm pretty sure it's the fourth one.
It's the third.
Ah, okay.
Nerd, remember, I'm a fucking cartoon nerd.
I hope it sucks.
It's not gonna suck. It's gonna be
Alright,
fucking
that's
great
the same.
stuff.
Right.
Alright, Studio Ghibli, is that what you said? I thought it was Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli, whatever. Here's all I care about. Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind is being adapted into a stage play. In Japan only, mind you, we're never going to see it. But that intrigues me because I've said
Well, fuck them. They can't ever see Book of Mormon.
Yeah, fuck that. But I love Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. Have you ever seen it? The first movie?
Nah, man, I like chicks.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Wait, what? Did you say you like chicks?
Yeah, I like girls.
Yeah. Girls like that movie. It's about a girl and a giant speeder bug.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
I'm pretty excited for that. That
Yeah.
could be pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm not excited. I'll fuck you, Javi. I just
Was
wanted.
that just one big step?
I wanted to get your hopes up and then dash them and be like,
trolling.
no, it is actually pretty cool. And then, dude, you like a Spirited Away, right?
Yeah,
You seen
it was
that Spirited Away
alright.
is
It was
good.
pretty good.
Howl's Moving Castle is pretty alright. Spirited Away, I think, is their
House Moving
masterpiece.
Castle's fucking dope. It's one of my favorite movies.
It's good, but I think Spirited Away is their masterpiece. I think that movie is the weirdest
I don't know.
mind trip of
I
a
think the
fucking
latest one he's
universe.
working on is going to be his masterpiece. I think it's going to be a swan song.
What is?
Miyazaki's doing one final movie for Ghibli, and I think it's going to be his last one.
Yeah, what's it about?
I don't know.
Yeah, crazy Japanese shit. Just like all of it.
Right.
All right, Spider-Man, Into the Spiderverse.
Finally!
Makes its way to an A-plus
Spiderman.
cinema score. It is...
Is
What
it
is it in
100% on Rotten Tomatoes? 100?
Dude, all right, fuck all this. Does it earn it?
Yes.
What
Pretty
do you
good.
think?
Pretty good.
Yeah? All right.
It lulled in a few parts for me, but I thought it was pretty damn good.
I thought it was amazing. I think it deserves it. I think that movie, as I'm watching, I'm like, we don't deserve a Spider-Man movie that's good.
Well, I don't... Spoilers?
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah,
spoilers the
I'm
whole
gonna
time.
say-
And was it a spiritual sequel to the Sam Raimi movies? It has to be, right?
Yeah, they
Because-
brought it up. They brought up the several scenes from it.
train,
They even-
Yeah.
the kiss.
Yes,
The dancing.
yes. Other than, like, Green Goblin wouldn't still be alive, so you said Norman.
What about that?
but all that
What about that version of Green Goblin? Huh?
Yeah, I
That's
liked
weird.
it. I loved everything. I loved the animation.
That was
style.
Yorma Taccone from Lonely Island played Green Goblin. In that.
Really?
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying the animation style. I love the way
The
that
animation
looked. I
was
love how it
beautiful.
was jittery. I love how they pulled comic book bubbles.
So the
ink
dots
blots.
on it were supposed to be like actual comic book paper,
Yeah.
the way it was
Yes.
printed, because you could always see those little black dots and
The fact
everything.
that they did that, the fact that in the lighting you could see the little dots in there, the ink dots or whatever it was, the jitteriness of the animation. Sometimes I was forgetting that I was watching a cartoon
Yeah.
or an animated film because I'm just like, some of the shit was so real looking, and then you
Right.
have an
Well, then
animation.
part of it halfway through, Javi leans over, is like, "Is this supposed to be in 3D?" Because it had that fucking.
It had like a blurriness
Yeah,
to
the
it.
whole
All I
blurry
wanted to
effect,
talk
like
about was how we missed out. We should have seen that movie in 3D.
Do they even have it?
They have to, right?
I don't think it's a 3D movie. I
Dude.
think it's just shot to look like that.
Wow, man, because that in 3D would have blown my fucking mind. There's got to be a 3D
With that
version.
movie theater, I wouldn't be surprised if they like played a 3D version of the movie in a 2D theater.
I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep like in the last 5 minutes. I liked the movie, but I was more interested in Peter Parker
Right.
than Miles Morales.
Dude, I'm the exact opposite. I feel like Miles Morales totally earned that movie. I feel like he is going to... Literally, this is a huge stepping stone where he is going to take over at this point. I think that characterization of him was unbelievably good. And the heart that they put into him throughout the story, how they linked it to his family, how they linked it to the idea of a bigger family, and all
Well,
that
you're
stuff.
right on that. He did earn the movie, but that Peter Parker voiced by Jake Johnson, to me, he's still the show.
And looked like
Right.
Jake Gyllenhaal, didn't he? Like, the whole time I'm watching, I'm just like, it looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Everybody looks like Jake Gyllenhaal to you.
He's just got one of them faces to you.
Y'all kind of look like Jake Gyllenhaal.
You look like Jake Gyllenhaal. Shut the fuck up.
I wish I looked more like the Kingpin in that movie.
Oh, Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, he was amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
What? I mean, the big.
I want a Spider-Man noir movie.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
That guy was the shit.
the fact that every time they introduced Spider-Man, they went into a quick history.
Yeah.
The fact
Their
that
backstory.
they took their time to build the characters up, and they did introduce 3 Spider-Men later. What Aunt May being like Alfred, I thought that was kind of weird, but it worked for me.
Right. The Spider Cave.
Yeah, the Spider Cave, dude.
And, okay, so, like, it showed the vehicles in there. There was a slick little fucking jab at the toys that were made back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to have that Spider-Man dude.
I know, because you
Yeah.
literally was like, dude, and I was like, I know, dude.
The Spider Cycle, everything else. Like, I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and and what was the whole thing with the 42 over and over again? Did y'all see that?
That was the gene, the genome or whatever that the spider carried with it to
they
give it
kept
the
showing
radioactive power.
yeah,
that's the shit that gives Spider-Man the power, but that's what the spider carries.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because the whole time you kept seeing 42. Like, when he hit that one sign the first time he tried to jump, and then the 4 and the 2 landed next to him, I'm like, well, there it is again. And I was keeping an eye out for it. The characterization, I think, of everyone worked. I think the relationships worked. I think throwing in Spider-Man Noir, and what was the Japanese anime version?
Penny Parker.
Yeah, I know. I honestly,
I don't know anything about it.
I didn't know anything about it either. I'm assuming
Wait,
it's
so are all these other versions of Spider-Man like legit comic?
Yes,
versions?
they are.
Yes,
They're all.
yes.
It's the Spider-Verse. These
Yeah,
are all
Peter Parker
iterations
is,
of Spider-Man or the story, the lore.
Right.
What I gathered from it, she had a pet spider that
Was in the suit.
ran the suit. And
at the end, but the suit
I guess
died.
it was like
but
a
the
whole
spider
Charlotte's Web
Yeah,
type
because
fucking
the
thing.
suit was made by her father.
But the thing though
It's like
was
Big Hero 6.
The suit. The suit was separate though because it died technically. And
Right,
was
but
sad.
she could also get inside of the suit.
Yeah, so I kind of want to know more about that
Yeah,
character,
it's
and
a
I'm
little
intrigued by it.
intriguing.
And the way they animated it, I thought was great. 'Cause she looked like a traditional hand-drawn animation.
Right.
I don't think it was. And the same thing though with Peter Porker.
Spider-Ham.
Yeah, dude.
That's
2D.
when you
Like
mentioned
a-
about how sometimes you forgot you were
Size-
watching a cartoon. I would only remember that whenever Spider-Ham was on screen. Oh shit, I forgot this is a cartoon.
Right.
Yeah. And then that joke at the end where he's like, "That's all, folks." And they're like, "Can we say that
Legally?
Like, I thought the movie did so many things well.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
John Mulaney, man, that guy's awesome.
So that, for me, like, everything worked from the very beginning to the very end. To the slow moments I thought were earned. I missed it whenever the Prowler was introduced that it was his uncle. I should have known that. I don't know I didn't. But I had to hop on that.
That was actually a cool scene, though. I mean, I knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
But it played very well.
Right.
Because, obviously Uncle Aaron, the Prowler, had no fucking idea that Miles was Spider-Man. At least Miles kind of knew that his uncle was a nefarious character and kind of did some no good shit, but I guess he didn't know the extent, obviously. But it was a really good reveal. It kind of got a little gut punch to you.
Yeah, a little
there.
bit. And then, like, whenever he sees him, and then the Kingpin straight up just kill her.
Yeah,
like,
man.
For a cartoon,
Yeah.
just straight up just shooting people left and right.
Just yanking people.
He killed. Yeah, he
Spoilers
killed
all,
he killed the first Spider-Man right off in the first 15, 20
They
minutes.
took out Bleach
Gone.
Blonde.
Dude, for
Chris
a minute-
Pine is who played that Spider-Man also.
For a minute, I thought that Spider-Man was going to be coming back.
Wait. That wasn't the same voice?
No, Chris Pine was the blonde Peter Parker at the
Nuh-uh.
beginning. Yes.
By the way, was Kristen Dunst Mary Jane? Because it sounded like her.
Ooh, I don't know.
We should figure that out.
Yeah. I give you your phone, but you can't have it.
I know, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast.
But yeah, okay, so Wilson Fisk kills that Spider-Man, and then he fucking shoots the other one like it's nothing.
And he was just a man driven to get his
No. He shoots the Prowler like it's nothing. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
and
just fucking straight up cast the Prowler out of
and-
nowhere, and then
and-
you're like smoking gun.
And that's the thing I liked about the movie is it took so many chances, or it took so many avenues I wasn't expecting. Yes, there was formula to it, but there wasn't because I was sitting there watching it going like, that's different. And you could tell it was written by Lord Miller because just like the
It
Lego
hit all the
movie.
same beats, yeah.
Just like the Lego movie. I'd never seen anything like that before. And it was formula, but it wasn't formula. There was so much going on that they have a way of being able to tell a story that I don't know how to say it. Like, they changed.
Well, they did the Jump Street movies also.
I never watched both of them.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're fucking hilarious.
But I know that whenever they first made the movie, or they wrote the script, they were saying this is the best script that has ever been written for Spider-Man. I'm
kind to agree with that.
I personally think it was.
I think it would have been cool if they would have had Tom Holland in there.
I was kind
How
of
would you
thinking
bring
that
him
he
in,
could have
though?
showed up. Like,
As a real live action person in the 3D fucking
I guess it would've
universe.
worked.
Just, I mean,
They could've just done, like,
they
how-
drew Spider-Ham.
just like how they did, how they do Tom Holland's character when he's in full Spider-Man suit and the Avengers movie. They could have, like, just done that.
Exactly.
I was actually expecting that. I was like,
That's Sony.
How about Nicolas Cage's?
that was awesome.
Awesome. That's why I said I want a fucking Spider-Man noir movie. It's fucking great.
Take that, you squirrel puncher.
This cube
Yeah,
thing, I don't know
can't
what it
find
is. It blows my mind, but I'm taking it with me.
Like I said, a lot of it paid homage to the Raimi Spider-Mans, which really blew my mind. The animation,
It was
I
fucking
thought
phenomenal.
was amazing, but also when their spider sense would go off, the fact that it would go full comic book, like that, I thought that was great. I thought using the thought bubbles was great, using the inner monologue as
And it's so in the background, like it's not so prominent, but it's tastefully done. But you can, it's just a small detail that you can pay attention to. Like somebody falling off a building, you see nothing but A's falling of them screaming, ah. You know, like,
this movie was built on those details completely.
it felt much like a who directed Shaun of the Dead?
Edgar
Wright.
It felt a lot like Edgar Wright introduced that in live action, and then they took those ideas,
Especially
and
like a fucking Scott Pilgrim.
Right.
Shit.
But the comic book panel stuff totally worked in it, and I thought it was great. The whole time I'm watching, I'm just like, I've never seen a movie that looks like this. Like I said, the
Monster
closest-
House looked
So Mary
incredibly
Jane
close like
was
that.
Lenny Kravitz's daughter, Zoe.
Mhm.
Lily Tomlin, though.
I
was
kind of
Aunt
figured that was
May.
Aunt May.
Yeah.
Like I said, Alfred May.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting choice. I was just like, all right, I can go for that, because if they continue the series then, which there's talk of doing, obviously because of the critic rating, but it is making money.
They also didn't make mention. Actually, Homecoming was technically mentioned.
When?
When he talked about Miles Morales' uncle, he mentioned him.
Yeah, because in the
Wasn't that
comic-
supposed to be like Childish Gambino's character?
No.
Yes.
that-
No.
that's
Actually, no.
That's a different person. 'Cause
no.
he's the Tinkerer
No.
in that, isn't it?
No.
Is he the Prowler?
No. Yeah. Eventually, he becomes a prowler, but he plays Aaron Morales in the
live action.
live.
Yeah,
Childish Gambino is in Homecoming playing Miles Morales' uncle.
But
who's
he's supposed to
Uncle
be in
Aaron.
Black Panther too. They're going to take the Prowler and put him in that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, he is.
Yeah, he's
But
his
just
uncle.
because, I mean, that doesn't.
I guess.
You got nothing.
They're
I
not.
wasn't trying to make.
That was nothing.
I wasn't trying to make
Yeah,
something.
yeah, wait a
Fucking
second.
leap of faith.
Yeah. If you want to go.
Oh god, he threw it at me that fast.
Wait,
folks.
but I like that thing that they did. That's what you have to do to become the Spider-Man that this universe needs. And the fact that they're keeping Peter Parker dead, is Miles Morales going to be
A
no one cares?
version of Peter Parker is dead.
That's true, but the best version probably because it was Chris Pine.
Oh man, fucking Jake
Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
Yeah,
was-
he was pretty
that
good.
Peter Parker
He
was
great.
It was,
man.
he was the
Great,
best.
I
Yeah,
thought the
seriously,
voice-
that's why I said I was more interested in his story.
Yeah.
Well, also the way that they moved, that I would literally I forget that I'm watching an animated film because
Right.
of the way people
It's
moved in the
it's
movie.
fluid.
It was weird. It was jittery. I don't know if it was because they didn't.
It almost looked stop motion at points,
Exactly.
but then a lot of points it didn't. It transitioned.
But
in
I was
and out of
wondering
that.
if that was why it was tricking my mind, because when I watch a movie, I'm used to 22, 24 frames a second, whatever it is. And I felt like the characters were moving at that, but the background and shit around them was not.
stationary.
Exactly. And I'm sitting there going, what is that all about? And from my understanding, when they made the Lego movie, they had the same jittery, stop-motion-ish type stuff.
Yes.
But there's no motion blur in the Lego movie. So you can literally pause the Lego movie at any moment and get a perfect screen capture of the movie.
There's no
You will
in-betweens.
never see that. I felt like the same thing with this. Like, you could pause it at any moment and get a perfect
still
image.
be-
No motion blur. And I was just like, I've never seen anything like that before. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this is blowing my mind. Every choice that they're making here, in the animation and
The animation
and
style was
stuff,
flawless.
dude, it's
You know,
unbelievable.
it's to me, I would say groundbreaking because I haven't seen anything really like that before. I don't know about
I was
y'all,
in
but-
fucking awe by it.
Yeah. The whole movie was just shocking. The voice cast, who else were we saying? Zoe Kravitz was Gwen Stacy.
who played John Mulaney played Spider-Ham.
Yeah, Walker.
Just all of it. It worked. I felt like the whole movie worked. What were your things in the movie that you didn't like?
Like I said, my main complaint was I was more interested in the Jake Johnson Peter Parker than Miles Morales. Says that. But
I do feel like after we left the theater, I'm like, I wish I had more time to sit and think about this because I feel like it's going to be a couple day burner where I start. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm going to see stuff or feel this way or feel that way.
That's going to be a movie you're going to have to see a few times.
Yeah, and that's also I like the end with the fact that it wasn't the typical. We've gotten used to the blue light shooting into the sky ending in superhero movies, where it was the inverse. It was something underground, and I feel like this movie is going to start this trend of a giant interdimensional device creating havoc, and because it's going to work so well. Like they've created this.
it would make sense.
Yeah, I mean we're going to see a lot of them. I mean, technically, I guess they kind of did that in Ant-Man and the Wasp. There's a version of that, but. I mean, other than that, I thought having the Kingpin being the main villain was really cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about that? I mean, typically, I know he crosses over to Spidey's Rogue Gallery, but technically, that's a Daredevil.
He's Daredevil and Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But, he's more prominently featured in Daredevil as one of the main villains.
At this point, the TV Netflix version of the Marvel, the ground level, it's done. It's gone. It's probably never going to be mixed into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
If anything, they'll get rid of those characters, say that never happened, and they've always kind of kept it separate. But the idea that we're not going to get, what's his name? Full Metal Jacket guy.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
We're not going to get his version.
Wilson Fisk.
If we're not going to get his version of the Kingpin, kind of bums me out. But Liev Schreiber's version of it, that voice, that calmness that he had in his voice, it was literally terrifying.
For a minute, I actually thought it was Chaz Palminteri's voice.
Well, dude, just the way the characters
I
built,
thought it was
too.
Chaz Bono.
I love Chaz Bono.
Or Paul
Give me
Sorvino.
a Chaz Boner.
Oh, sweet Jesus. But even the way that character was built, it was all shoulders and just a head in the front of it. Like
Yeah, the character model design for him was wild.
all of them, man.
Yeah.
The Scorpion, when he showed up, I was like, that's interesting.
He looked like the fucking Hispanic fire guy from Suicide Squad.
You just said that because they made him a cholo.
I'm just saying that because they made him Cholo. Is
But also the fact that they used
that Zombie Boy? No.
Doc Ock's
No, it was
daughter.
Tombstone. It was the gray guy. Kingpin's bodyguard.
Oh,
the dude with the
Tombstone.
white flat top.
I
It
thought
was
it was
Tombstone.
Tombstone. I thought it was
Yeah, who was it? Is that what
It
the
was
character's name
Tombstone.
was? Yeah, I didn't recognize that one. And then Dr. Octopus' daughter being there instead of
Yeah,
Dr. Octopus.
that was a cool little
Voiced by
turn
Catherine
also.
Hahn.
And
Yeah.
the other thing that I
Yes.
thought was kind of cool is
Catherine
no
Hahn.
one punched her until Spider-Gwen punched her. And it was like, because Peter Parker and Miles Morales didn't hit her at all. And then she hit her. And at the end,
Invisible
I'm like,
Miles did.
oh, did he? All right, my bad.
Well,
Well,
he
that
hit
was
it
like-
with, he was like,
He
quit
hit
hitting
it with
yourself.
twelve
Yeah, but
tentacles.
it's
though.
not okay to hit a woman. But in the Me Too era, is it okay to hit a woman if
Yes.
she's coming at you?
Is it okay to
Yes.
choke a
You
dog?
never hit a woman.
Choke a Doc Ock.
I'm just saying. Maybe if they have more arms, it's okay.
Yeah.
I thought the villains worked. I thought not having, doing the Kingpin, I thought was just an awesome idea. Having that, he actually had a good reason for opening up the multi-universe, being that he wanted to get his family back, I thought was a great idea.
I still want to see the Craven as an enemy.
Dude, Sinister Six.
I want to see the Rose as an enemy.
Who's the Rose?
It's just a famous Spider-Man villain, you know.
Well, he's got, is it his, whose Rose Gallery is better, his or Batman's? I think
They're
it's pretty
neck and
even.
neck.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
They're neck
even.
and neck.
But the fact that you could do the Sinister Six, that's an awesome idea. I mean, because there was how many villains? 4 or 5 there. It wasn't the key villains, but if you do Sandman, Vulture, Doc Ock, Electro, who's the
Vulture.
last two? Vulture, and then who am I missing? Lizard. You do the traditional Sinister Six, man, in the next movie, that would be amazing. Because there is going to be a sequel. There's talk of a sequel already.
You think that could work having that many major villains?
Hell yeah, dude! You just had 6 Spider-Men. Why would you
Not
not
that
want
many
to?
main characters.
Yeah. Dude, and they juggled them just enough to make
Yeah,
it
but that was
work.
an animated film. It's kind of easy to juggle, but like, can
It's
you
no
imagine
different
Michael
than
Keaton competing with like who else?
An
Did?
animated film
He's
now
talking
is
about
no
the
different.
sequel to Spider-Verse. Not a
Oh.
sequel to Homecoming with
No.
the Sinister Six.
No,
but
here's
an
what-
animated Sinister Six sequel could work.
It could.
Heck yeah, dude! And the other thing is, there's not much difference between a live action movie now and an animated.
Well, there
film.
kind of is, though, because I get what Javi's saying about that. A live-action version of the Sinister Six would be hard to get right because, I mean, you're watching a human on screen. You're feeling their emotions. You know, you can empathize, sympathize, or
And with
whatever
this that many
with them.
villains, it's going to be hard to form any connection with
You
any of
can't,
those
yeah,
characters.
you can't build character enough. You know, it's one of those things where you have to stretch out like the
But at the same
Avengers
time,
did. You know,
But the Avengers ended up earning it because they knew which characters to focus on.
that's what I'm saying. Though you're gonna have to do that.
You
Like,
always do that with every movie. You have to go, who do we sacrifice this character? Even in this movie, you had 6 Spider-Man. You only really focused on 3. Only 2 of them had the emotional arc. You see what I'm saying? But if you write a script that is good enough, each character can have just enough of a moment where there are maybe 2 or 3 main characters who have the key moments, but they can always be bolstered by other small character moments. In those.
stepping stones.
So I think it can be done. I do think that you do get into the idea of villain fatigue, where you have Batman with like 3 villains, Batman and Robin, where you got Mr. Freeze,
Two-Face.
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, and Bane, and none of them are
Yeah.
shown properly.
I think I'm wrong.
So, I mean,
I was thinking the other bad one.
You're not wrong about that either. So it always comes down to where can you service the character in those moments. With an animated film, they have more
Amazing
time.
Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi's. They
Right.
fucked it up with
It
too
fucked
many
it up.
fucking villains.
Dude, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I literally walked out
Same
of the theater just
goddamn
like,
thing.
bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what they were gearing towards. They were wanting to do the Sinister Six.
Drew Goddard.
I keep saying sticks.
Drew Goddard was writing the Sinister Six movie. There's a chance that they might still do that over Sony. Here's the thing, though. With the success of Venom and now into the Spider-Verse, there's no way Marvel is getting back Spider-Man for the long haul. Sony will be keeping them. The only way they're going to get them back is a Fox situation where they end up selling. Sony ends up selling, which could happen.
Give it time.
Which could
Disney
happen.
buy them out.
Because, I mean, when Sony, they got into the game, they thought they were going to kill it, and they ended up not killing it. But
The
recently,
opposite.
they have, and there's no denying that the deal that they made with Marvel to do Spider-Man and bring him back has bolstered the Venom, and it has bolstered this movie. And this movie, I guarantee, I think is going to crack over $1 billion. There's no way it doesn't. I don't understand. Unless Aquaman is that fucking good.
Aquaman's not going to be that fucking good.
Yeah, I have
DC
no high hopes for it.
needs to shift back down
I got no.
and start over.
Well, me and Jake were talking about that in the theater when Shazam trailer came on. Let's
Yeah.
talk about our theater going experience real quick too. Was it
I don't want to go back.
fabulous?
I don't want to go back to that one.
You didn't have a good time?
Fab.
What was the deal with our server? He was very aggressive.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like, Jake's like, whenever he goes, that's your well? And he's like, yeah, that's our well. I was like, all right, dude.
Jim
calm
Beam
down.
is their well.
That's
That movie
their well.
tavern, y'all.
just
Bullshit
so
is
y'all
what I
know.
call.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was just like, okay, that doesn't even make sense. But, I mean, I like the theater. I like that it's smaller, but I would have enjoyed it more if we were in IMAX or...
Of
Where's the place that
course.
we went? Fucking Studio Movie Growth. Dude.
I would
That
have
was
enjoyed it with
great.
bigger
Yeah.
seats.
The one at Lincoln
Yeah,
Square.
dude, the one that
Yeah.
we went to, that Casey's, the GM of, dude,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
That was a good movie, girl.
But it was close. It was
You know, the studio in Highlands has all those new seats also now.
Oh, yeah? They kicked that out?
Shit, we ought to
Shit.
go to the start.
All right, next time we'll go there.
It's right up the road.
But I mean, otherwise, sound quality was good. The other thing was there was 2 interruptions. What was the deal with the mariachi band in the fucking hallway?
What the fuck?
Like
I
one of
think
the
we were
most
watching the
emotional
game
moments.
too loud.
Yeah, I can hear it like pouring in through the doors.
What was that?
I think it was maybe for the other theater or the bar.
Yeah, I think maybe a movie theater across the way was getting out, so they propped up at the doors and
And it was like
too loud and just feeding in.
It was crazy. I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Also,
Ugh.
the soundtrack for Into the Spider-Verse was fucking awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, was it?
Was it?
The song? Really? You guys didn't listen to those songs?
You mean that fake ass MIA fucking
Yeah.
paper plane?
How
song
come
they played
whenever
at the
I say
beginning?
it, Jason always on me? Like, I'm not quick enough for this.
I'm with him though. What was it about the soundtrack?
I just
that
really
you
like the
enjoyed?
soundtrack. It went well with certain scenes.
I thought it was serviceable.
Oh
Like
my
the
God.
soundtrack or the score?
Dude,
The score.
Okay, the score I'll vibe with.
all right. Can you hum anything from it?
No.
All right. There you
It's like
go.
lo-fi hip-hop beats.
I'm just saying.
I feel like a basic
Wasn't
bitch
no
on you guys
Danny
sometimes.
Elfman.
Sorry, man. I didn't like.
I just wanted to use the word
Just-
basic.
just
bitch.
so
Like I said,
everyone
I didn't
knows.
like the fake ass paper plane song at the beginning that he's trying to fucking hum along with.
I'm just waiting for you to fight back, dude. You know I do this.
I know you
One
do.
of my favorite things is when you fight back. It makes me so fucking happy. It's just like, listen,
Fucking
bitch.
Mario!
Yeah, dude, it makes me so happy. No, I feel like it was a damn good movie, and I think that after a second or third watch, it's going to be even better. I think it earned its place.
Hopefully Jake watches it for a second or third time and doesn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh,
so.
dude, are we
He's
getting
like,
Phantom Menace with it?
I
'Cause I
fucking
really
hate this shit.
did we,
That's a pretty good me.
What you couldn't see was the frown and the going for the liquor after. There we
Yeah, he fucking nailed it. That was me.
go. All right, final thoughts on it. Javi?
Great movie. I love it so much.
All right, you don't have to be that.
I love that movie.
You don't have to be that dedicated to it already.
I thought it was great.
No,
the
I'm
animation
with
was
you.
solid. The art was great.
I thought that the
Story
fact
was
that it
great.
paid homage to all the history, including the movies, the comic books, the fact that
Stan.
Spider-Man had comic books, Stan was in
that
it.
tribute to Stan was pretty awesome.
All that shit I thought was great. I thought it was completely different than anything I've ever seen when it came, while paying homage to that. It had a completely different vibe than any other Spider-Man thing I've seen. Which is the one thing I can say I love about the Raimi films. It has a golden feel to it. The Amazing Spider-Man films can go fuck themselves. Homecoming, I felt like was a total recreation of the character that worked in ways I couldn't
Saving
understand.
grace. To me.
And this, too, the nighttime aspect. I mean, it goes through many different things, but just the color palette, how it went from, like, normal to neo-noir to just, like, just across the board craziness.
And how the actual Spider-Verse was created didn't, like, boggle your mind too much. You kind of just believed it. You went with it.
They
You're
kissed
just
it.
like,
They kept
okay,
it simple.
yeah,
Stupid.
like, all right, I can
Yeah.
get with this.
It just, and I felt like they took their time, and the places they need to take their time, and then they. Here's my problem with a lot of the DC stuff. It's boom, 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 boom,
It's
boom,
rushed.
boom, boom.
This is this, and this is this, and
Yeah.
this is this, and all that's because of this.
It took its time, and like we were talking about earlier with Spirited Away. Spirited Away is the kind of movie where you have to be along for the ride.
gotta
You're going to
build
be
into
introduced
that.
to new character after new character, and this thing's going to have this. Same thing with this. You just go along for the ride. It is a roller coaster ride, and there are moments where it lulls. You're right, where they take those, but those character moments are what earn those big things. So it's very much a roller coaster ride of a movie, and I thought it was great.
But I will say this, though. I will agree with Jake. I do think Jake Johnson, Peter Parker, stole the show. I really wish he would have
really
got more
good.
time. It was awesome. And I love this story. I like that aspect of, like, the superhero that's kind of burnt out on it.
He had a
lost his life.
relatable character.
It was relatable.
Maybe
as
it's
fuck.
because of our middle age, though, too. That's
Truly.
what we're looking
Yeah,
at,
I'm
too.
sure.
Yeah,
Middle-aged Spider-Man.
as I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, well, that's realistic as shit. Like, things are not working out.
It's like, I looked over to you and said, "Well, I could really relate to this Spider."
Yeah,
especially when he dropped the divorce.
But that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like, I could relate to him, but I feel, for me, Miles Morales, this is
You know,
going
'cause
to be kickstarting.
Spider-Man of this generation.
At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
it's
we've
gonna
all
kick
felt
out
like a young
something.
Dominican.
Half Puerto Rican, half African American.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
half Dominican.
And a quarter gay or whatever they were trying to put in there back in the day. I
Yeah.
still don't understand that shit.
Yeah, let's
But-
just give him all the things.
And the other thing, too, is
Oh, he's also albino.
Spider-Gwen, I thought the way they did Spider-Gwen was awesome. I think that is a version of
Could have done without the eyebrow ring.
Without the what?
Eyebrow ring.
Oh, you did?
Whatever.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I kept staring.
Just like,
I kept staring at her Skrillex hair.
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, "Oh, bitch got Skrillex hair."
Yeah.
But I felt like she was an awesome character
Look,
too.
at least they explained the Skrillex hair. They didn't explain that stupid ass fucking eyebrow.
Jake, what'd you think?
I think it was definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Um,
More time to brew on it, you think?
yeah, I think it did a little more.
Maybe we'll come back to you next week and see how you feel.
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
see.
Well,
It was a good movie. I love the animation style. I do love the character arcs. But I mean, to me,
Do you feel like
it's just
you
like, eh.
Could you put it on in the background and watch it?
Oh,
kind of movie?
definitely.
Or do you think it'll be like I said? The first time I saw the Lego Movie, I did not like it.
really?
See,
I
I
did not
loved the
like
Lego movie the first time I saw
First
it.
time I saw it, I didn't like it. Now, any time and any day, you said just watch a Lego movie, I'd be like, let's watch it. It's,
Everything is awesome.
It's just like a movie that it didn't click with me the first time, and then I started thinking about it, and over time,
Did you like the Lego Batman movie?
I loved it.
Yeah, that was
On the
great
first
also.
shot?
I think because of my love for the Lego Movie, it carried over, and then I would watch that anytime too.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
And it has a different vibe too. But that's Lord Miller too. So when you look at Lord Miller, for some reason they are this generation's Steven Spielberg to me.
Yeah.
They just hit fucking hit every
Yeah,
time.
imagine their version of Solo.
Can you do me a
Yeah.
favor? Can you see if Lord Miller wrote Monster House?
No, they didn't. Dan Harmon wrote Monster House.
Really?
But it was rewritten after he lost the job. If you're interested in that story, listen to this Smodcast where Kevin Smith talks to Dan Harmon.
Nice.
Yes. It is an awesome story. And if you go into the lore of Harmon and Harmontown and Rick and Morty and all that stuff, you start to learn more and more about it. It's crazy how connected he was and how long it took him to get where he is.
Oh, didn't he do Community also?
He did.
He
Yes.
did.
Yeah. And he got fired from that show. And
Fucking
then brought
Chevy
back at the
Chase.
end. Yes. I don't think it was Chevy Chase that got him fired. I think it was Dan Harmon who got him fired. Because Dan Harmon is a curmudgeon to the
Is he
10th
really?
degree. Yes.
Yes.
If you ever get a chance, listen to Harmontown. It's an interesting podcast. They're usually just trash as shit. You can't follow anything he's saying. And watch
Harmon Quest, which is awesome D&D version that is animated in the style of Rick and Morty. It is great. Any other thoughts on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? I'd say go watch it.
Go watch it. Go watch it.
I mean,
Worth a watch, definitely.
But if you've listened to this, we've ruined everything for you anyhow. So hopefully you've watched
Sorry,
it.
not sorry.
Yeah.
Also, go see How to Train Your Dragon 3. It looks really good.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's going to hit you with all the feels.
All right, y'all.
I'm sorry, Doug. Yeah, I'm not sorry, Doug.
Sorry, not sorry. Anything cool? Let's talk about some cool shit we saw this week. I don't know if I linked you guys or not, but there is a thread on Twitter called Chris Evans Looks Like a Dog, where it literally is just pictures of Chris Evans next to dogs doing the exact same face. He is a human canine.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is ridiculous.
Kind of like Benedict Cumberbatch being an otter.
What? What is this?
Yeah, there's a thing that goes on that Benedict Cumberbatch looks like an otter.
I can't wait to look at that.
Like in the gay community?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
not in the gay
Speaking
community.
of which, you
He's-
know an awful
he's-
lot about, what was it earlier you were talking about?
Daddy bears?
Daddy bears?
I can't wait to be a daddy bear. I gotta start making more
It's all
money.
gay terminology.
What does that mean?
In gay terminology, a daddy bear is a heavy-set bearded gentleman that's hairy and also makes a lot of money.
I know an
to-do.
otter is a thing in the gay community.
An otter is a slender version of a bear. It's a skinny guy, but he's hairy.
What else is in the gay community, Javi?
If you get a skinny, small, hairless person, that's a twink. And they gotta be under a certain age.
Yeah.
This one over here.
I would be considered a twunk.
Wait, why is that?
It's like a hunky twink.
That's the greatest thing ever.
So, anything interesting you want to share with everyone? Check out?
No. Just listen to Javi and his gay shit. I ain't got nothing going on over here.
Javi, any more gay shit you want to share with
Gay
us?
shit.
No, anything that you...
No, I know, but gay shit. Avatar: The Last Airbender is getting a Netflix live action series.
What the fuck did you
Super
I just watched the last N-word. What did you say?
Avatar: The Last Airbender just got a live action
Yes.
series on Netflix.
Recreated.
And also Happy on Netflix.
Air N-word. Yeah, cool.
But also, it's going to be done by the original creators.
It is.
So it's going to
Super
be...
excited.
I heard they're letting M. Night Shyamalan retake the role.
God, I fucking
God.
hope not. That's bullshit.
What is M. Night doing nowadays?
Fucking not touching
Glass?
this.
Oh, yeah, that comes out soon. I want to watch that.
out. That came out in November.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
It's
What
not
are you
out yet.
talking about?
You fucking idiot. I would have seen it.
Did you jump out of the fucking Spider-Verse parallel universe?
it.
Are you kidding me? Dude, I'm going to theaters to see that movie because I went to see Unbreakable
I saw Split
and I missed out on
Unbreakable
Split.
in there.
I saw Unbreakable in the movie theater, but I missed out on Split. I did
Split
not
was
know.
fucking dope.
Split was amazing. So Glass, hopefully he lands the fucking...
Yeah, sticks the landing.
Sticks
The
the landing.
superhero landing.
Yeah, dude, I hope so. And the fact that
Don't
it
roll
takes...
your eyes at that
it takes
stupid
place-
joke.
No, I'm just really hoping that he sticks it. I don't want him to fucking fail with this. Chances are he's gonna fail with this.
Turns out they're all blind.
Hey, what
in
does...
that village.
I hope he sticks it mean in the gay community hobby.
Well, I can tell you this. It's like when you,
it's pretty self-explanatory, man.
you lay there with your erection sticking up in the air and you have a twink jump on it.
Oh,
He lands.
Jesus.
Oh, stick the landing.
Oh,
Stick the
God.
landing. Land on the stick.
I can't wait to see the images you're gonna put up for that little clip.
Yeah.
I don't put
Put
images on the
images for that.
podcast.
Do you even watch this podcast? No, you don't, because you can't. You listen to it.
For the YouTube videos this fucker does.
I don't make a YouTube video for this.
He doesn't.
I do that for the gameplay
Well,
video.
Oh,
Podbean.
You gotta have the bed of the gameplay. Speaking of which, if y'all would like to check out some videos on our YouTube channel,
They're funny.
please
like
do.
this.
Yeah. And also, if you want to send us an email, send it to quackattack5000@gmail.com. I never get any, but I will eventually. Other than that, anything else you guys want to add to the end of the podcast here?
I stand by my things that I said today.
About the gay stuff?
About
Or
the gays,
The
my
dragons.
nerding out,
The
about
gay
the
dragons.
my orgasm when I first saw the trailer.
Turning straight girls into lesbians.
There's a common theme here tonight.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.